All right, soldiers, welcome to the show. They call me the Doctor. I'm the host with the Ghost. With me is Vincent from Ghostmarket.io. Thank you, sir, for joining us today for this interview. It's
Hi
good
everyone.
good to have you on. So as we all know in the community, Ghost Market is the go-to place for NFT marketplace on the Phantasma blockchain, as well as with others because we're omni-chain, correct? So we're here with Vincent just to talk a little bit more about smart NFTs, talk about Phantasma, highlight some of the advantages that Ghost Market has over some of the other products out there on the market. So, Vincent, tell me a little bit about your experience into crypto and kind of what led you towards Phantasma Chain to begin with.
Sure. Well, I've been in crypto for a very long time, probably 7 or 8 years. For a very long time as a, tech enthusiast and investor or speculator, should I say?
Hmm.
And but since maybe 5 years, I've also started playing around with it, with all kind of development stuff. A lot were personal stuff. I wanted to try it out because I liked the tech. I don't come from a pure software developer background, but still I was in IT before. I've been a network engineer for a very long time, so it's still related to
Hmm.
blockchain somehow. But I had zero pure development experience before starting all that.
Hmm.
And anyway, I started doing some small side project for my own interest. And first because I wanted to try stuff, and then I think it was about 4-ish years ago, I was very very interested in NFT. And back then there was like almost no solution, and those which were available were very very simple.
Hmm.
So I started building my own marketplace, just for me. And this evolved a lot. And I brought on board 3 friends, and we started building Ghostmarket. So this was about 2 years ago. For the first year, it was purely more a side hobby things than something else, because
Hmm.
we had other stuff to do, and because we still were lacking, whether it's funds or time or
Hmm. Yeah.
But since about 1 year, we transitioned into something more professional. We raise funds, and we now have a team of 10 people working on it.
Oh, that's great. That's really great. So Phantasma is definitely one of the highlights of Ghost Market. Clearly, it's the only NFT chain. What is it about Phantasma that piqued your interest when you discovered this blockchain? What are some of the unique features that you found um, that you found better than other solutions out there?
Well, there are a few things. Obviously, as a concept of smart NFT and how it works with ROM and RAM, being able to update certain part of the NFT and have others stay immutable, it's very powerful. And there's no direct equivalent elsewhere. So there's that. Also, some more advanced stuff like, for example, most NFT on Ethereum or EVM chain, when you want a multi-edition NFT, let's say you want to mint 100 of the same NFT. You
Hmm.
can, sure, it works. But what happens is that all those 100 NFT are exactly identical by
Hmm.
design.
Hmm.
There's no difference between owning this NFT from this 100 edition to another. And Phantasma has a unique feature to solve this, is that each NFT amongst one edition has a mint number. So sure, you own one out of 100 NFT, but you can also say you own min number one or
Hmm.
min number 100. And it's pretty cool, and it doesn't exist elsewhere.
Yeah, so this kind of has like a parallel if you buy art and you buy like lithographs that are numbered by the artist. This is the same type of concept. So it may be the same piece, but you may have that 1 out of 100 or your 50 out of 100 or whatever. That is very cool, and definitely I think that overall every time I talk to somebody about the possibilities that smart NFTs have and some of the unique features, people who are into the scene and have been into NFTs for a long time, be it developers or even collectors themselves, you start telling about the power of what a smart NFT can do, and it's like you can kind of see the head go kablooey, and the gears start turning too. I think that we with Phantasma, of course, with the nestable features of the NFTs, doing things like having each trait, if you want to do a PFP collection, and having each trait be an NFT in itself, that you could combine into the singular NFT, and now you can add a whole new layer to trading with that, so you can trade traits instead of just trading that singular NFT, and I think that's something that's really cool and really a lot of untapped potential. With the smart NFTs. So, in your experience, just about smart NFTs in general, have you seen any really great standout uses of the smart NFT? Since that's kind of what you're doing there, like in any examples that you can think of?
I don't think there is any full-scale project using a lot of advanced features. We're just getting started with NFT, and yet all or most projects still use almost nothing when it comes to NFT capabilities, Like, for example, a lot of projects, I'm not talking about Phantasma here, but even more in general,
Mm-hmm.
don't even store their data on chain.
Right.
First, because on chain it's not doable or
Mm-hmm.
too costly. But I'm just saying, people are just even though the first NFT are like 5 years old already,
Mm-hmm.
and people are just scratching the surface when it comes to what they can do with NFT. So no, I haven't seen any proper implementation of very advanced features. There are a few projects on Ethereum who have very cool stuff, like dynamically generated stuff, fully on chain, a lot of very cryptographic stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still uncommon,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's still very much a nascent, not only art movement but technological movement as far as like what we use these NFTs for. Um,
Yeah.
I think in the next 5 years we're going to see some really cool new use cases, especially real world use cases, where we start to move away from just the PFP being the utility key for a project. Let's say, I know that's kind of the new narrative is a founder's pass or something like that would let you do certain things. Again, this is a great way where nested content with smart NFTs can come into play. If you were doing some sort of entertainment based project and you had a founder's pass and you could pick from certain perks, perhaps those could get nested under your pass and things like that. I think that there's so much room for a creative developer to come in, especially with Phantasma NFTs, and really do some stuff that just simply hasn't been seen before. And I get really excited about that. So we have Ghostmarket, which is a great marketplace. And I will actually, let's go ahead and I'll pull this up really fast on the screen share so we can talk about a few things. And
Sure.
Yeah, so clearly one of the first great things with Ghostmarket is it is multi-chain. Um, I think that this is a great feature. What led you? I mean, of course, we've got BSC, Neo, which Neo and Phantasma. Of course, for everyone that knows, Phantasma kind of started as an offshoot of Neo in a way before it went to its own thing. We've got Polygon, Avalanche, and Ethereum. Um, what these are great blockchains to have on here. We have some advanced features like let's talk about the self mint function maybe. So if we wanted to create our own, and we could go into here. Let's talk about like some of the ease of use. I really enjoy with creating some tokens here.
Yeah. Well, unlike a lot of other places, at least when we started, um, we had a focus day one to be blockchain agnostic,
Hmm.
because that's since a very long time, and for a very long time, that's the future of blockchain. It's about interoperability and being able to bridge assets and whatnot. There's no one blockchain superior to all other. There are many different blockchain with each specific features. Some are very similar, some are very different.
Hmm.
But anyway, our goal has always been to be the one-stop shop when it comes to NFT and not uh, fully tailored to one blockchain, you know.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, it changed recently, but until quite recently, most competitors or similar platform were mainly focused on one blockchain,
Hmm.
and it's a major difference, uh, both in terms of who you want to attract and also in terms of the technology involved, like designing a platform like ours for 6, 7, 8, or more blockchain is totally different from being custom made for one.
Hmm.
There are a lot more consideration. Like when we want to design a feature, it has to fit for all blockchain we have. We don't want to have a feature only available on one. Obviously, there are some caveats and some, like for example, Phantasma and Fusion and
Hmm.
whatnot. But at the end of the day, we're trying to be as simple as possible and as feature rich as possible. So it
Hmm.
brings a lot of challenges.
Definitely. So I'm looking through some of with the self mint features here. I've been going through. It's very simple for people to enter the name, description. You've got a nice drop down to for the type. That I guess that would be kind of listed with the filter for the collection. Easy to put royalties, quantity, attributes, lot content. Of course, with Phantasma, I should point out that there are several different extra options there
Yeah.
unique to Phantasma, which is one, the ability to infuse liquid value into the NFT itself. So as you can see, there's several different tokens here that we can infuse. So if we want to infuse 100 soul into this NFT, which can be burned for the underlying if you wanted to. And then we have this marketplace listing option. So this is an option that I didn't see on the other ones. So reading here, it just says if you want to sell your NFT with auctions, this has to be done separately later. So if I click this okay, so we got mint only and mint and sell. I see. So this would be where you could do a single mint per transaction, or you could mint the collection at once and then sell list on the marketplace. Correct?
Yeah, it has to do with how transaction work on Phantasma versus other blockchain. Um, Long story short, Phantasma and Neo, for example, allow to batch different operation within the same transaction,
Mm-hmm.
which is not possible on EVM chain
Mm-hmm.
unless you have a very advanced setup with a proxy contract and whatnot.
Yeah.
Anyway, at a simple level, you can't have I want to mint an NFT and sell it in the same transaction
Mm-hmm.
on some chain. Phantasma allows this. Yes.
Right. That's great. That's great. And of course, I mean, I am going to focus a little bit more on Phantasma here, clearly, but I think you can mint up to 2,500 NFTs at once on Phantasma.
It's even more than that. It's just that we restrict it.
I
I
see.
think it's 25, but it's more than that actually.
I see. I see. So let's take this out. So, but the fees here, I've just kind of set up a example 2,500, and when we look down here, we can see the absolute low cost to mint on Phantasma is just a little over $30, which is amazing. Even with our royalties, it gives you a nice little breakdown here of everything. Going through into the actual main UI, I really love this. You've got this nice pop out on the side where it's very simple to use many filters. You can filter by blockchain, even by currency that's accepted. Which this is another plus that I really enjoy. Um, how difficult was it, or what was your decision to allow people to use so many different currencies to purchase their NFTs? Does that get complicated on the programming side, or but it's a great feature. Definitely. I mean, clearly you have to have your network tokens for all the chains that you use, but I also see that you have several different tokens like Godi and ApeCoin and Nudes and some other ones here. So, is that just part of your plan to just be as agnostic and inclusive as possible? Uh,
Well, there are many things here. First, you see all of them because for now you haven't filtered by any chain. If
yeah.
you filter by a chain, you'll see only the ones
Right.
available for your chain.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's very nice.
So since you had no filter, it was aggregating everything.
Yeah.
But we don't plan on restricting. Our goal is to allow as many options as possible. It's just that there are hundreds or thousands of crypto, and
Yeah.
we don't want to clutter the UI. So we still somehow whitelist which currency we want to enable. But that being said, if you we have a full SDK now, and you can also interact with the contract directly. If you were to do that, you could use any currency you want.
So if I was a project and I was launching my own token, so let's say on Phantasma, and I wanted to use the SDK to integrate Ghostmarket into my project, so I could mint and sell in the same transaction, I could use my own project token in that regard.
Yes, of course.
That's excellent. That's really nice because I think that one of the biggest challenges with projects is especially like I work with a gaming project where they're not blockchain native people, and one of the things that comes up is always, of course, the mint, the marketplace. We want to build our own marketplace in the game, and it's nice to know that we can incorporate Ghostmarket easily into that process and be able to use the features that are already in your SDK to really accelerate and kind of take out some of the complexity of having that function. It
Yeah.
helps the project get time to live a lot quicker, I would say. And then, of course, it's also nice. I love how you can very easily filter the collections here as well. So overall, I mean, I have to say that this is my favorite UI out of any NFT marketplace.
Thanks.
Yeah, I really think it's great. It's so easy and user friendly to come in, and then if we have a whole stats and rankings here, where again we can filter by the category. We can check out the volume simply and easily across chains, and really get into some deeper details here, and just directly go to some of these collections. As you can see, some metrics right here. And then, of course, the new big thing is that you recently started your incentive program. So would you like to talk about that a little bit and give us a rundown of what that entails?
Sure. Well, as part of our token launch, which was last January, we always had in mind to incentivize people to trade because that's the hardest for a marketplace. It's about attracting buyers and sellers. So what we decided is that half of our supply is targeted at rewarding in many different ways buyers and sellers. One of these way is a recurring incentives program where basically anytime you trade, you get rewarded both as a seller and as a buyer.
Mm-hmm.
So each week we have a pool, and depending how much you generate volume from the total volume of the platform,
Mm-hmm.
you get a cut of this pool, and it's spread and shared amongst all the blockchain we have. So it doesn't matter if you were to generate on Phantasma one let's say $10,000 volume,
Mm-hmm.
and if our weekly volume was 1 million,
Mm-hmm.
you would get 1% of the weekly pool.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's an ongoing program which is planned to last 5 years at least.
Great.
Yeah, actually 7, but it should last 5 years because we do have a few other activity using the same pool of rewards. Like we also currently have staking rewards,
Mm-hmm.
and liquidity provider reward. So anyway, it's a big pool, and at the end of the day, the goal is to attract people to the platform and get them to trade, because that's what we want,
Of
a
course.
healthy market where there are people selling stuff and people buying stuff. Yeah.
I see, and then I see you also have some leaderboards for traders there too, so
Yes.
they can kind of track their progress, and you can go in and see easily see where their collection is and what they're selling. Yeah, again, man, really enjoy this this UI. It's so easy to use and so clean. That's excellent. So, where do you see NFTs? Just talking just in general, where do you see NFTs going in the next, 5 years? What do you think? Some new. Let's see. First, I have to figure out how to stop sharing my screen. Sorry. Here we go. So, what's the new paradigm in NFTs? What's going to be the new trend
Well, I think
as the technology gets used more?
the first step is that we need regular people to stop saying NFT are bad or whatever they say.
Yeah.
There's a big trend since a long time. It's bad for the environment and whatever. Of
Hmm.
course, there are some stuff which can be improved, but I think they're just deflecting some stuff to NFT because they don't understand it. At the end of
Sure.
the day, that's what happens. So I think that's the first step. The mass public needs to understand better what's an NFT, because even someone knowledgeable sometimes doesn't get it. So
Hmm.
someone completely against blockchain or crypto, he won't get it for sure because he
Right.
doesn't even get what's a crypto, so he doesn't know what's an NFT. So anyway, there's a lot of improvement to be made when it comes to explaining to people what it is.
Yeah.
But after that, and it already started, I think it will be integrated pretty much everywhere. From my own personal experience, every 3 months there are at least double the project working on NFTs than the last period. Like every single big company out there either has integrated or is working on a pilot or whatever
Hmm.
to trial NFT. So of course, amongst the hundreds of thousands of trial and whatnot, a lot are useless and won't go anywhere. But from if even 1% of those end up with a great concept or great idea, we'll see a lot of new features and applicability related to that. And I think it's great.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, you kind of knew that once Nike bought Artifact, that of course that's metaverse, but it's also NFT related as well. But you kind of knew that once a company like that throws their weight into this industry in general, that it's really not going anywhere. And then you have the thing with the crypto punks. So what is that? Was that Tiffany that was doing the thing with the crypto punks now? And what about this idea now? Do you see that this mixture of digital and physical goods being kind of the next wave, especially when you talk about more like corporate or retail people entering, and even with like things like fashion, you see like the term I can't even pronounce it. The digital and
Yeah.
physical thing, is that going to be it? But there's things like real estate too that you
Yeah.
kind of hear a lot about. There was a article I read. There's some people that it's in completely crypto hotel that's being built in Florida or with NFT timeshares or something like that. So I mean, it's all coming to the forefront. I agree that I like to see that. I think that we kind of need to move away from just the strictly PFP style utilities and really start. I see people building out a lot more stuff, not only in GameFi, but also in some more real world. Of course, we're talking. Phantasma's been talking a lot about to the film and entertainment industry, about using digital NFTs as part of like this new movement that they have as well. Where do you see? What about music NFTs? What do you see about music? Is that going to be something that still needs a few years to stew? You hear a lot about it, but it seems like it has a hard time kind of taking off right
Yeah.
now.
Actually, it was something which was working quite well for us quite some time ago. I'd say maybe 18 months already.
Mm-hmm.
And for many different reasons, I think it's not yet so much relevant. There are a lot of constraints, or whether people are not ready for this. I don't know. There are a few platforms solely focused on just that, and they work, I think, quite well. But still, I think it's a lot disruptive for the music industry in general,
Hmm.
and it's hard to make people habits change and whatnot. Both when it comes to consumer consuming the music, but
Hmm.
also distribution platform or whatever. So I still think it's one of the best use case of NFT actually, in general, but I think it's still early. There are a lot of unknown. I don't have any proper example right now, but there are some constraints which haven't been solved as of
Hmm.
yet. And until this is done, it's hard to have something very mainstream. There's no one size fits all solution. You do this and it's bulletproof and that's
Yeah.
it. If it was easy, it would have been done already.
Yeah, of
E-
course.
Each solution has advantage and weaknesses, and you need to understand where you're getting at when you're doing this.
Yeah, definitely. So if there was one message you'd like the NFT community to hear about Ghost Market, or anything, what would that be? If you could just tell the NFT world like one thing.
I would say to come check us out if they haven't already. We have a lot of very unique and cool features, pretty cool features, and a lot more in the works. Our team is still growing, and we have so much to do. We're also actively hiring. So if anybody has interest, hiring in all departments. Whether it's marketing, technical, or social. So feel free to hit us up.
Okay, yeah, excellent. That's great. Well, we're coming up on about the half hour mark, so I just want to thank you for your time. Thank you for all the great information. Really appreciate your insight. And for everybody out there, of course, go check out ghostmarket.io. It is, in my humble opinion, the best NFT marketplace out there, and we're really excited to see you grow as the NFT sphere expands. And we wish you the best of luck as always. And of course, if there's anything Phantasma can do, by all means, we're always here for you.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Thanks so
Have a good
much.
day.
Yeah, have a good one. Thanks so much.